Hi there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Capital A Trading. Welcome back to the latest Forex Weekly. It's just going to be that video where I go through the charts, look for the best investment opportunities, show you how I'm going to tackle them, and then of course, hopefully you can catch on to a profitable situation. So if that sounds good, if you trade, if you take investments, hit that subscribe button in the bottom right corner. Stay up to date with the channel. Thank you to everyone who has been doing that, liking, commenting on the videos. It really means a lot. Thank you for all your support. Before we get started, I just want to say a quick shout out to my sponsors. The Absolutely magazine is available now in all Waitrose and M&S stores. Check out my website, recently launched, as there's updates being made on a weekly basis. That's www.capitalatrading.co.uk. And with that being said, we're going to get into the fundamentals and then check out the charts for the week.
Okay, so as always, it's good to check out the fundamentals for the week. Make sure you know when the charts may be impacted. So the first thing I want to talk about is Monday. The main interest is going to be around the Canadian dollar. It's going to be around the London close. Nothing much, but there's someone from the Bank of Canada speaking. So we're just going to see how that kind of impacts the Canadian dollar. Tuesday, I'll then switch my focus from that night to the Australian dollar. Again, there's just another meeting going on. And then on Wednesday, the main theme of the week starts to become the CPI. They're having a real check on, what the people spend in shops and stuff like that, and just working out that stuff. So again, the first one on Wednesday will be the pound. I'll be having a look at that for the London Open, just to see if that's going to cause a reaction, maybe some strength in the pound. In between the London Open and the New York Open, they'll be then switched over to the euro. So again, we can sort of think about that. And then of course the Canadian dollar just after the New York Open. So there'll be a couple of currencies to check out on Wednesday. And then of course we'll be looking for the move. Thursday, again, it will switch back to the US dollar, a bit of the Australian dollar as well. And then Friday, there's some more on the pound, the euro, and again, some more CAD news. So again, it's about just keeping an eye on the timing of when it's going to happen, seeing if that currency will gain some strength. So with all that information there, what we will do now is take a look at the charts, see where we can catch a profitable situation. As always, I'm going to start with gold. And again, I just want to talk about the price action that happened around Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then of course how we can now see that progress from here. So pretty simply, this is an area that was of interest. It's around the 1800 mark, let's say 1790. You must give gold a bit of space to breathe. Wednesday, price shot to the level. Thursday, just kind of stuck around. Friday, it showed its hand and had a nice move to the downside, bringing us back towards the 1767 level. So now, if I just come down towards a 4 hour, I just want to see price start the week by pushing from this area here, get back towards the 1790, let's say 1795, it can come to 1800. And then I want to start to see some signs of struggle right here, just above my blue box. If we get that, then we can expect to move to the downside that may come lower than this area here. So again, the target would be around 1750. So we're looking to see a move from 1790 round about towards 1750. That's going to be gold. Keep an eye on that one. Next up, it's going to be the dirty US 30. Now, again, last week I mentioned the move from in between here. We had that. I caught a nice profitable situation. And then come Friday, it's decided to start really pumping up to the upside. So now it's come towards a market gap and it's sitting right here in between, let's say the 35,300, 35,400, around about that level. And I feel like another transaction is going to kick off. It's a bit weird that that's how Friday finished in this area, perfectly closing the gap that was in the market. So now we're going to watch this area, let's say the 35,400, call that the main target. And we just want to, again, see them signs of struggle where we can then hopefully get a move, maybe a small move, at least to 34,400 to the downside. So keep an eye on that one. That's going to be the US 30. I really need to see this area and how it starts the week, how it struggles. If it starts to create the pattern where it's building out of the area, I'll be confident in taking a sell. Keep an eye on that one, especially monitor it around Monday and Tuesday. Next up is going to be the UK 100. So for those of you who follow me, you'll know that I have been hunting down this pair for ages now. We've had lots of fun recently. There's been lots of sell opportunities. If I just come down to a 4 hour, what we've had just underneath our point of interest. But now as I go back to the weekly time frame, I believe that this week we're finally going to actually interact with this area, interact with this candle over here, which was formed back in February 2020. So now I feel like they're finally going to get here. They're going to touch into this area and a long-term transaction is going to be kicked off, where I do believe we're going to see a bigger push to the downside. And the target again will be around the 6,000 mark, where I believe something's been left down here. So again, it will be about watching this area, seeing it do what I want it to do, and then of course getting on the train and riding it to the downside. Keep an eye on that one. That's going to become a main focus of mine the minute it steps into this area. That's the UK 100. Next up is Bitcoin. Again, it's nice to see it back at all-time highs almost, and I do believe we will get a new one very shortly. My prediction for this week is very simple. We've come to a key selling area, so I do believe price is going to threaten to push to the downside a little bit, but I do believe if I just come down to the 4 hour, you can see it a bit clearer. I believe price will come back towards the 58, maybe the 59, somewhere in between this level here, and then continue and make that new high, preferably in the later part of next week. So around Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Friday. If it's sitting here, expect to see that rise. I do believe Bitcoin may make a new high this week or next week. Keep an eye on that one. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just a short break to announce that you can go over to my website now. That's www.capitalatrading.co.uk. Head over to the services part where you can read more about my mentorship program. If you're a beginner trader, I highly recommend it for you. And if you're an advanced trader who wants to enhance your strategy, it's also recommended for you. So again, that's www.capitalatrading.co.uk. Head over to the services section and read more about the mentorship program with the things that you'll be available to you. Let's get back into the charts. Okay, the first currency pair that I want to talk about is going to be the pound NZD. Now, again, for my students that was onto this, there was a move that was mentioned in my Discord last week. And again, this is available to you if you join up as a student. This is the area that I mentioned around here, where I wanted to see price just get to before it started a monstrous move to the downside. And as you can see how it's progressed, this is what I said. This was mentioned at the start of the week. And if price decides to dip into that market gap within the next 3 hours, then the decision will be made. This move may happen during the night when the NZD may gain strength. This will be my main focus for the day. Now, as you can see, it hit that area perfectly and had a nice 250, around 250 pip move to the downside. So this week, I'm expecting that to continue. I'm expecting a little bit of a pound fight back. And I do believe it may come towards the 195, 200, 195, 400 area. If I just break down why, again, for those who follow me, you'll know I like my lonesome blue candles. It's in at a session time as well. So in between a London Open and a New York Open. So I just want to see price come back towards there, interact with the 195, 200, 195, 400. And of course, if it beats this area, then the trade will become invalid. So keep an eye on that one. That's going to be another one of my main focuses for the week. That'll be the pound NZD. This was another move mentioned inside the Discord last week. So again, if you haven't got access to that, reach out to me now and get access to that. This is the pound Swiss franc. Again, it's another move that was mentioned. Similar things as always. We had around a 70 pip move before, of course, as you can see, come Thursday, Friday, price started to really push to the upside. If you come to a daily time frame here, you can see that it's just come back towards an area where it's known for dropping and selling from. And I believe that's what we should be looking out for next week. If I just come down to the 4 hour, you can see that it's already had a push from the area. So my idea would be to focus on the 127, give it a bit of space, 127, 400, somewhere in this range. As you can see, there's been some nice drops before, and we're looking to see if it comes again. So keep an eye on that one. That's going to be the pound Swiss franc. Next up is going to be the NZD USD. Now, again, there was a move I mentioned recently from around the 71,600, 71,500 level, and it had a brilliant drop to the downside. And now from last week, it looks like it's heading back towards that area where we may get another move. So if I just come down to the 4 hour now, I'm going to focus on this area here where we've touched again on Friday. This seems to be the theme of the video. A lot of things that have happened on Friday. There's a reason why they quickly rush to these areas. And then, of course, next week, they'll start with their transactions again. So, yes, I will see if price is going to continue struggling at the 7,871 whole number. And then, of course, you may get a sell move from there. Hopefully, with a New York Open, we're looking to see the US dollar gain some strength. But again, just be aware of that daily area and be aware that we can see it come towards the 71,500 as well, where I believe we may get another push from. So keep an eye on that one. Let's see where the struggle is going to come from. If it doesn't start the week sticking to this area, then of course the focus will be the 71,500. So keep an eye on that one. That's the NZD USD. Next up is my hometown. It's the euro pound. Again, this has just been heading to the downside. For those who follow me, you'll know we've caught some monstrous moves here. So what I'm looking at now is price has just wiped out a key area of liquidity, and I know how they do that. So my idea of thinking is that something has happened around the 84,800, 85 level. Again, there's two candles that you're going to see on a 2 hour and a minute, but that's created a transaction. It's created a movement to the downside, which has caused a lot of damage. And I know that only the market makers can do that. So if I just come down to a 2 hour, the key will be watching in between that 84,800, 85, let's say 85, 100, somewhere in there. I'm just kind of expecting price to just pull back up, start the week like that, pull back up towards this area, show some signs of struggle, and then we're going to get the move where it's going to continuously go to the downside. So keep an eye on that one. That's my baby. That's going to be the euro pound. Okay, next up, very simple. It's going to be the euro USD. Again, this is a move that I mentioned last week, and of course it's still sitting here, so it's kind of still valid, but just keep an eye on this 116,200, 11600 level. I do believe that a sell is cooking in this area. If I just break it down a little bit more, you can see how they've come to this level, dropped, they've come again, and it's creating drops. So it does feel like there's something here where it's blocking it from going higher. So again, just keep an eye on that level in between the 16200 to the 1600. I do believe eventually you're going to see price push back down towards at least the 15400. So keep an eye on that one. That's the euro USD. Okay, another chart that's been throwing up some really good results lately is the pound Aussie. I've caught some really nice sell moves from here. And then there was another one that was mentioned last week from around here. So again, we've got a buy area, which I know a lot of traders would have been looking to buy this area, excuse me. And what's happened is I can see the nature of the way price has kind of gone and ripped through the area, taken out a lot of liquidity, caused a lot of misery around the trading community. So it's around the 186,500. That's where they've created that transaction. They've created that type of movement to come down and grab all that liquidity. And again, it's pulling back towards and just showing some signs of struggle. So I'll be happy if it does come towards that 186 again. Let's say 186,300, give it a bit of space, 400. And again, if it's there before the night time for the UK viewers, the Australian dollar tends to get strong during the night for us. So again, if it's sitting in this area, say 7 p.m., 8 p.m. in the evening, then I'll be happy to place a trade and hopefully wake up in a profitable situation. So keep an eye on that one. That's going to be the pound Australian dollar. Okay, next up will be the USD Swiss franc. I'm going to slightly move the goalposts and I'm going to explain why. This was an area that I was looking to see tapped back into last week. Didn't really get there, but the direction that I wanted to see, it headed to the downside. So now I'm just going to kind of move the goalposts. I can see that that was the market makers in that area. And I can see that they've left something around here, around the 92,800, 92,900, 92,700. So around 700, 900, we've got a 20 pip range there. So what I'm going to do now is just kind of move the goalposts. I'm going to keep this line on the base of that blue candle there. That's what I'm focusing on. I can move this over as well. That will go there. And now my focus will just be here. I'll be focusing on what's going to happen. Is it struggling? Is it showing me them signs that I want to see? And then hopefully we can catch on to a profitable situation. They're looking to take a sell around 92,800. Keep an eye on that one. That's going to be the US dollar Swiss franc. Next up is going to be the euro JPY. And again, I'm just want to focus on that 134 area where we've had a weekly move recently from the market gap. Had a nice push to the downside. Last week, price seems to be shooting back towards the area. So I want to know why. I want to see what's happening. So again, there's my model. There's something that I like to see. I've got a market gap sitting right in the middle of a key number of the 133 level. So I'll just be simply watching this week, seeing price get into this area. And if it starts to stick, I will then go to town on the lower time frames and start to just see if we can get the signs of struggle in there for the push to the downside. If that happens, I'm looking at a simple target of 131. So just around 200 pips back towards this level. Keep an eye on that one. That's going to be the euro JPY. Last but not least is going to be the AUD USD. Now, first thing, I just want to mention this move from this area here that came around that 74,500 mark, pushed massively to the downside. Very good move. Since then, it's progressed back towards the area and we've got the signs of struggle. So again, this will become a main focus of the week. If I just come down to a 2 hour time frame, I like this scenario here, and I just kind of like the way I'm expecting to see some steps to the downside. And again, it's only a small target. around the 73,200 area. That's where I'll be aiming for, around a 100 pip move. So all I want to see is the struggles at the start of the week and then some US dollar strength. Sticking to this area, it's not allowed to really leave the blue box. If it does, the trade will become invalid. But from here, I'm looking to see that struggle there, and then we can write it down for a nice 100 pip move, start the week off well. So keep an eye on that one. I'll be focusing on that very closely at the start of the week. That's the AUD USD.
Okay, guys, that's all from me this week. Again, thanks for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. And again, don't forget to subscribe. I just want to say a quick shout out to my sponsors, Absolutely Magazine. Thank you for all your hard work, all the support that you've given me. And again, if you're new to trading, if you want to learn this skill, take it on further, whatever you want to do, head over to my website. That's www.capitalatrading.co.uk, where you can find out all the details on there. Have a great trading week.
Bye, have a great time.